Hi, how are you? This is Take What Rings True. My name is Teresa Micheletti, and I've studied philosophy for decades. I took many years of trance classes where Sylvia Brown would go sit on a bench on the other side, and her spirit guides, would come in and teach us. So today I'm going to be talking about spirit guides. Spirit guides are not ghosts. Ghosts are people who've lived a life and then haven't made the transition to the other side. They do not know that they're dead because all time stopped. So we're talking about spirit guides who are people who have lived lives, and then from the other side, or heaven, they give us information, they protect us, and they guide us. I like to think of guides being like the GPS in your car that gives you directions on how to go someplace. So if you miss the right-hand turn because you're in the wrong lane, then they will correct and get you on your path again. You wrote a chart. You wrote a chart to go into life of the experiences that you want to have. And your guide helps you to stay on that path. They protect you. They can heal you. They can give you energy. So if you're low on energy, you might ask your spirit guide to help you and give you a little bit of energy. Angels also protect you, but here we're talking about spirit guides. They use telepathy to give you information. So your thoughts are sometimes from your guide. Suddenly, during the day, you may feel like, oh, I need to call my friend, whoever. And when you call them, you realize they really needed to talk to you, or you really needed to talk to them. That's most probably a spirit guide giving you infusion about calling that person, that it's an important thing to do. They also give you messages in songs. You may have a song come on the radio that answers something or tells you something or encourages you. So pay attention to what's going on around you. I have one friend who gets all their messages in books that they read. You may find that you watch a television program and it gives you answers to something that you've been wondering about. They also help you. I remember I had been working like 7 days a week and I needed some things. And when I went to Santa Barbara, I was walking around this mall area and all of a sudden I decided I should really go into this store. When I went in, they had the 3 things I had been needing and searching for. So spirit guides are constantly giving us information. They do not have wings. They are not angels. Angels are a separate phylum, not human. So angels are one phylum, and we are a totally different phylum. We're human. So no wings on your guide. Our guides can hear us, even the tiniest whisper. It also helps if you give your guide permission to hear your thoughts this whole lifetime. Otherwise, they're guessing. They know you want help, but they don't know what you need help for or what you need help with. So if you give them permission to read your thoughts this lifetime, then they can help you more easily. If you only give them permission to read your thoughts right now, then it's only for this one occasion. And then they're in the dark again. Guides are constantly sending you love. If you stop right now and close your eyes, and I want you to think about your guide sending you love. So stop a moment and see if you can sense it. Can you feel it? Okay. Guides nor angels can interfere with your body. So you need to give them permission. If you want them to heal you, give them permission to heal you. Give them permission to help something in your body or to examine to see if they can figure out what's going on. There's a privacy act. They also cannot hear when God speaks to you, and God speaks to you numerous times a day. A rainbow, crystally, sparkly light comes over you like a fog, and only you and God can hear what information they're giving. That's God. Sometimes you hear your name, like you might be awakened by the sound of someone saying your name, and you realize there's no one there. It's probably your guide trying to give you some information. So stop and think, okay, what message am I getting right now? Often during the day, guides are giving you information, and we tend to ignore it. If you do figure out you're getting information, then stop and think, what is the message I'm getting? Guides are often very frustrated with us because we'll ask them for help. Help me do blah, blah, blah. And then we don't stop long enough to get the message that they're sending us. Or we don't understand it, so we don't stop and ask them for clarity. You can ask your guide to help you reach for more spirituality. They can help us ascend and get closer to God. I believe that we were created to experience for God, and our spirit guides help us on our journey to experience and keep us on our path that we chose when we wrote a chart for experiences that we're having. Guides can give you a symbol to know when they're around. They can give you a sign. Sometimes you can recognize the scent of your spirit guide. I know a spirit guide that comes with the scent of sandalwood. Others come with the scent of flowers. Maybe your guide would come with the scent of a rose or the scent of a gardenia. You might get a ringing in your ears. If you do, most likely it is your spirit guide. Say, I'm hearing a ringing in my ears, and they can modify what they're doing so it's not ringing, but you can still get that message. You may feel a chill or a shiver up your spine. That could be your spirit guide. Since guides become more dense because they're more humanized, they need to be more earthbound so they can appreciate what we're feeling. So if our cat dies, they understand that we're sad. Otherwise, if they did not become more earthbound or humanized, when our cat dies, they'd say, wonderful, cat's gone to heaven. Well, that's true, the cat has gone to heaven, but we're sad. They're not with us anymore. Guides can also give you direct answers. One method you can use is if you're driving, you can say, okay, if the answer to this question is yes, then I want to see a car with one headlight. If the answer to this question is no, I want to see a car with bright lights on. So they can manipulate energy because we're all energy beings. So they can make lights go on and off. They can also do things like make a faucet drip so you can get one drop for yes and two drops for no to your question. They can also do things like write on a chalkboard or write on a whiteboard in your mind's eye. So if the answer is yes, they could write yes on the whiteboard, and you could sense it in your mind's eye, either know it or feel it or sense it. So if you want to know what your totem animal is, they could write it on the board. Or you want to know what your life theme is, they could write it on the board. So consider using those tools to get answers from guides. Guides learn from our experiences, so they don't know every single thing in our chart, because sometimes they need to be blocked from that so they can also learn while we're learning. Guides can even go to the Council of Elders for you and petition for your chart to be changed. You may have more spirit guides assigned to you, or you can ask for more spirit guides. I think I told you the story earlier about a friend who wanted to be more feminine. So she asked for a guide that would help her to be more feminine. And her signal that she'd gotten the guide was she was in a parking lot and she was walking along and it had one of those air vents. And her skirt went up like the skirt in the Marilyn Monroe picture. So she figured that her guide was making her feel more like Marilyn, more feminine. So you also have a soulmate, but your soulmate, 99% of the time, is going to be watching out for you on the other side. They check in with you. Ancestors check in with you. You are never alone. You've got spirit guides, angels, loved ones, ancestors. They're all in your entourage. So you are never alone. Some spirit guides have the ability to change the energy in the room. Others are more expert at information and giving you information. Guides are constantly helping you. They're constantly giving you infusion about how unique you are, what a great and worthy soul you are, and trying to get you to stand up for yourself. Guides are literal. A fellow trance classmate was concerned about his diet. So he was asking Francine, one of the guides who would come in to give us information, and he was talking about eating hundreds of pounds of meat. And Francine stopped him right there and said, "You cannot safely eat hundreds of pounds of meat." Well, obviously he was exaggerating, but she was being quite literal. So when you're talking to your guide, which you can do, you don't have to pray to your guide. You can just talk to your guide and tell them what you want. Tell them what you're concerned about. Ask for specific help. But make sure that you are being literal, not exaggerating. You met your communicating guide before you came into life. You agreed in a partnership and were trained together before coming into life. You may have other guides, but all those guides need to communicate through this one communicating guide. Otherwise, you have lots of people trying to talk at once. Since you wrote your life chart, your guides are going to honor that. Say you wanted to experience being in an accident and breaking your leg. Your guides will not prevent that because you wrote in you wanted to experience it. You can also ask for things like peace and tranquility. So ask your guide to send you peace. Ask your guide to send you tranquility. Then stop and sense what you feel. Sometimes the signal is you're getting a warmth. Sometimes you can just feel a fluttery feeling. Our spirit guides can bilocate, be two places at once. So your guide might be meeting with friends on the other side and at the same time being with you. The other side is timeless, so guides have difficulty with time. Guides are more easily understood and more easily able to get to you and infuse you with information at night because of the way the air is, and it's easier for them to give you information. If your guide is trying to give you information while you're sleeping, because it's easier for them to do that, and you want to sleep, make an appointment with your guide. Say, Tuesday at 9:00, could we please try to get together and I'll try to listen to your messages? Or some people actually hear their guides. Sylvia would say that it sounded like a chirping to her because they're in a different vibration. So maybe you shouldn't ask for the ability to hear your guide because it may be uncomfortable for you to hear chirping in your ear. But you definitely can get telepathic information and just know what your guide is trying to tell you. So you can practice that. You can also ask guides to set up a soul-to-soul meeting for you. If you're having a problem with someone or it's difficult to get a conversation with someone without them getting really upset, then you can ask to speak to them soul to soul. So say to your guide, I want to meet with Joe Smith in the middle of the night, maybe Tuesday, while he's asleep and I'm asleep, and we can communicate soul to soul and get this straightened out. So think about using that tool. Guides need permission to interfere with your body. So if you want them to remove negativity that's gathered or clear your space around you, your field, your aura, or the space around your room that you're in right now, you can ask for them to do that. Angels are also good at clearing negativity and spaces. Sometimes guides are mistaken for little children's imaginary friends. Little children are close to the other side and they can see spirit guides who will communicate with them and often play with them. If you want more spirituality, you want more courage for your soul to rise up, then talk to your guide and they can help you. This is the perfect time to be living if you want to become more spiritual. The veil between earth and heaven is thinning. You're able to get more reciprocation from your guides. Guides assist you. They can give you energy boosts. They can heal you. Say you're writing a letter to the universe for help with a situation. Guides and angels then know what you want to have done and what you want enacted to help you with your life chart. Guides can also help you to astrally project. But if you ask for that, then realize that there's going to be a change in your physical feeling of your body and just relax and not resist while you go through that transition. One exception to the rule is I know a couple of psychics who have very powerful archangels as guides. So on rare occasions, archangels may become someone's guide if they have a special mission. And these archangels are angels who have had some life experience, which is also unusual because angels don't come into life. But, you know, all things are possible with God. So this is an exception to the rule. So consider giving your guide permission to read your thoughts because it will help your life so much when they can read your thoughts and understand what you're going through, especially if you're going through a time where it's hard to think of what you want to ask for to get help. I know sometimes I get so embroiled in a problem or so embroiled in not feeling well that I can't think clearly enough to ask specifically for the help I want. So it would behoove you to give your guide permission to read your thoughts and also give your guides permission to interfere with your body, to heal you, to do whatever needs to be done that you want done. And realize that if you wrote in your chart that you're going to experience having Guillain-Barré or whatever it is, whatever illness, then you still are going to experience that. You can ask for the experience to be softened. And guides can help petition for that to happen, but you can also appeal to the mother goddess, the feminine side of God, to change your chart. But sometimes you've written in your chart, no matter what I say, I want to experience this. In which case, it would have to be overturned by the Council of Elders or the Mother Goddess. So thanks for visiting today. My name is Teresa Micheletti, and next week we'll talk about something else. Not quite sure what that's going to be, but you are welcome to join in. Thanks. Bye.